This is Charleston's retirement coach, Brandon Bowen.
All right, so we work to understand what's happening with our 401k, what fees we're really paying. We get that set up. Now in this next process, you talk all the time about how income's the most important thing for our retirement plan, Brandon. Mm-hmm. That is goal number one of the work you do. You got to get that income plan put in place. When we think about how to generate that income for after we leave the 9 to 5, you see more people are liking the idea of guaranteed income, but as the idea of a pension continues to go away more and more, annuity sales continue to come more into the conversation and, in fact, are setting records in these last few months and years. But there are still skeptics about annuities. They talk about how they worry that you could lose your principal investment in an annuity plan. So at Bowen Wealth, you do use annuities in the plans that you build. Not in every plan. Not everybody needs an annuity. Let's talk about what you do and don't like about annuities for a retirement portfolio. What do you want people to know?
Yeah, and I want them to know that I agree. You should be skeptical about annuities.
Okay. Got it.
Like, I want people to go, time out. I don't know about that.
Okay.
Right? I want you to be skeptical there because I do like a certain type of annuity and then I don't like the other ones. Okay. Mm-hmm. So there's one specific that I do like. And like you were saying, Heather, we use, my first step in building a plan is income, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's the first thing I'm going to do is like, okay, how much income do you need? You listening, hopefully you've done the math or you've got a pretty good idea. You might say, hey, Brandon, I need $6,000 a month. I would like to I would love to have maybe $8,000, right? So there's a couple thousand of play money.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So if you know what you need and want and stuff, then I reverse engineer this. I say, okay, well, let's build your income plan. And then my next question, I toss it back to you is how much of this income do you want to be guaranteed? Okay. How much of it do you want to just know is going to be there? It's going to be there whether, no matter what happens in the markets, no matter how long you live. Let's say you make it into your 90s or into your hundreds, like my grandmother did. 101 and a half, Mama B. So because there's some people, like if I were to ask you, you might go, you know what, Brandon, I want probably 75% of what I need. I want that to be I want that protected.
Okay.
I want to know that I'm not going to be destitute.
Sure.
There might be some of you that go a little more riskier. They might go, hey, 50%,
Okay.
I got Social Security and maybe guarantee a couple more thousand, but the rest I'm going to, we're gonna hope for the best.
Right. Maybe you do have a pension. That's another.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you've got a pension, so yeah, those are the situations where I don't use an annuity a lot of times. Where if I'm saying, okay, you've got a beautiful pension, maybe you're a federal employee, or maybe you worked, an old school company for a long time, and you've got this great, like some of my, Boeing long term time Boeing employees have beautiful pensions, things like that. If your income is already covered with two Social Securities, a pension or two, I just put a check by that box. But most people just have two Social Security checks,
right?
Or one, if you're single or widowed or divorced, right? So then it's like, hold up, we've got to plan some more income. We got to go build our own private pension. Okay. So now let me turn my focus squarely on annuities here. Okay. Because there are 4 types of annuities here. The one that has been around the longest here for over 100 years are fixed annuities. That's where you would give your principal to an insurance company. They say, thank you very much. We will protect this money here, and we are going to give you a fixed interest rate. Okay.
Yep.
3, 4, 5%, maybe depending on when you bought it, that kind of stuff. It's pretty simple. That's it.
Yep.
It's low risk, straightforward, predictable drawdowns, things like that. Okay. That's on the far one side. Now on the opposite side here of the spectrum of annuities are variable annuities. Okay. Now this could be with the exact same insurance company or a different one or whatever, but that's where you would give, your hard-earned money to the insurance company, and they would say, okay, we are in fact going to risk all of your money. We're going to go put it in the stock market. Okay. So now your money is at risk. You might have thought it was safe, but it's not. Your money is invested in whatever mutual funds that they put you in. Okay. So you're going to participate in all of the up and all of the down.
Got it.
Okay. Think back to 2008. 2022, right? Different times where there has been no doubt, some scary moments in the markets, right? Yep. And your annuity, your variable annuity is going to be in free fall. It's going to be going down. You're going to be watching it. When you get these quarterly statements, you're going to like, OMG, honey, look at what, because it's in the market, right? The insurance company is charging you 1% for the privilege to do this to you. They are putting you in these mutual funds that are super costly, averaging 1%. So there's 2 now already, right? 1 and 1. So we've already got 2% going out. The other problem with variable annuities is a lot of them have income riders, which I like an income rider, but that's going to be another 1%. So variable annuities, almost every time when we do an annuity X-ray for people, we find that they are paying on those variable annuities anywhere from 3 to 4% per year. It's mind blowing. So it's no surprise why their performance is underperforming the market, right? Because you're just hemorrhaging money. You've got all these holes in your boat. You can't keep up with the market there. And then your income that this income rider pays out, believe it or not, is the lowest of the 4 types of annuities. So the income is awful. It's the lowest. Okay. Yeah. So I'm like, geez, let's get out of that thing. You deserve better. Mm-hmm. Okay. So now that we know the fixed annuity and the variable annuity, let me talk about what I like. Okay. But before that, I also want to say, hey, with what you have saved, what do you like as far as safe investments? Do you want some of your money to be safe and with low risk? If you were to be honest with yourself, yeah. And of course you would go, yes, Brandon. I don't want to risk all of my money. And I'd say, okay, how much do you want there to be in low risk? Just like low stress investments. And you might go, well, maybe 30, 40, 50, maybe even 60% of your money, half of your money, right? That's very common. I hear people say, I want half aggressive and half defensive. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if that's you, if you're tracking, if you're nodding your head right now while you're driving around, you're like, that's me. Okay. I would say, all right, well, what do you like for those low risk investments? Because you got to either pick maybe like a CD, you got to pick maybe some bond funds, right? Those have been averaging 1% per year, and bond funds can go up and down. So that's not even safe. I can't even say that bond funds are safe, right? Right. Look back to 2022. Mm-hmm. So you've got to decide, okay, what do you like for your safe alternative? And that's why what I like here at Bowen Wealth is I want to show you, you might not like it, but you might love it, is what do fixed indexed annuities look like? They've changed and they've really improved the product there, especially in these last, 5 years, right? Where they have because they've seen the problem, right? Of bonds and CDs and money markets.
And annuities.
Yes. And annuities. They're like, these people are smart people at insurance companies. They're like, hey, there is an opportunity here because everything else, hold your nose. It stinks. Right. And so they have put together, how does this sound? Let me give you just some broad descriptions here of a fixed index annuity. The ones that I like, okay, is where they protect your principal. Okay. So if the markets, I should say, when the markets crash and go down, the worst you can do is 0. You cannot lose a penny of your principal. Okay. Yep. It's safe. So your principal is protected there. You have no losses. The only way that your account goes down is you've pulled some money out. Okay. Got it. So number 1, it's protected. Number 2, how would you like no fees on this money? Mm-hmm. Right. But Brandon, I heard annuities have high fees. And which type, let me quiz you listening, which type have high fees? Variable annuities, right? Yep. That's why I don't like them. So the ones I like, the annuities I like, have no fees. Okay. So no losses, no fees. And because we can index this money here to maybe the S&P 500, the positive years of the S&P or whatever, then we should be averaging around 5 to 7% per year with this position. Safe, no fees, averaging 5 to 7%. I don't see anything out there better than that, if you were to ask me. Okay. Right. Okay. So, if we were sitting across the table from each other, I would say, hey, that's what I like for your safe, no fee. I don't even charge my advisor fee on that money. Right. Got it. Because those insurance companies pay me a commission, right, for helping you choose them. So I don't charge my advisor fee on that annuity. You truly are paying no fees on that money. There's no risk. And, and you're averaging, we hope over the next 10 years, we're averaging around 5 to 7% per year. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's with your safe money. Then with the other pieces that you still want to act like you're 30 and 40 years old, we're going to go to the market and we're going to buckle up our seatbelt and we're going to try to, knock your socks off and try to grow that money because, that money is for down the road. Right.
Got it.
Right. So, okay. So those are the annuities. And then if we were to say, all right, you remember that income problem that we're looking at, that we can add income riders to these products. Now that usually does introduce a fee. Okay. So just know that, hey, I'm going to be super transparent and clear about, these products because, they've been pushed down on people. Advisors have thrown their clients' money into these things, and I'm going to be super cautious and let you make the decision. Okay. Here's the good. Here's the bad. Now you usually do commit to a certain period of time with annuities. So there are some negatives there, right? Mm-hmm. But it's a part of a full plan here.
Right.
And I like it for your safe money, for your income producing money. And so all of that to say, if you're age 50 or above and you've saved $500,000 or more and you have not called a timeout here and taken a look at your portfolio and said, okay, I can see how income is the most important part of retirement, right? It's the most important. I'm walking away from my employer and now my money here and it has got to pay me. I need it to outperform on the income side, right? It doesn't even need to grow that much. If it gives me the income I want, I'm going to be a happy camper. Right. I'm going to have so much fun spending money and blessing my kids and grandkids because you've got that income coming in. So that's what you've got to start looking at, is not pursuing the growth and the risk and all the volatility. It's now we got to make our money pretty boring to an extent here where we've got to have it income driven so that you can have the exciting retirement. Right. Yeah. So if you're age 50 and above and you've saved $500,000 or more, you deserve this income plan review. Let's start there. Here's my number. Pick up your phone. I know it's right beside you. 843-890-2400.
Again, that number is 843-890-2400. Do you have an income plan after you leave the working world? A lot of people have 401ks and other savings account, but they don't have the actual plan in place to show them where their income is going to be coming from. Brandon is here and ready to get to work with you building that plan for the years ahead. 843-890-2400. You can call or text that number. Just text the word income, and we'll get you started that way as well.
Thanks for listening to Charleston's Retirement Coach Podcast with Brandon Bowen. To learn more, visit bowenwealth.com and join Brandon for his radio show, Charleston's Retirement Coach, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 94.3 WSC.
Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Brandon Bowen is licensed in your state, please call 843-203-2030. J. Brandon Bowen is an investment advisor representative of Bowen Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. J. Brandon Bowen is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Bowen Wealth, LLC, insurance licensed in South Carolina. Market Guard is a registered investment advisor with the SEC and provides model portfolios only to Impact Partnership Wealth. Market Guard makes no implied warranties or representations and is not liable for any data presented.